Happy Friday Eve to you, everybody. So glad to have you with us on this Thursday morning. I'm Kerry Charles.
And I'm Melissa Painter. It was a busy evening over here in the Fox 8 Weather Center. Emily, how are we looking this morning?
Oh, I'm well rested. I slept like a baby last night. It was a great night. Yeah, but Van and Charles and Kate certainly did have their work cut out for them. Take a look outside, mostly clear skies. And our skies are getting clearer down to the south and east. We're seeing this process underway already. Northwest winds are doing it. They're bringing in cold, dry air. So mostly sunny skies are up ahead for you today. 44 right now in Greensboro with a northwest wind at 12 miles per hour. Boy, these storms were popping over the evening hours yesterday anyway. They've moved offshore now. And in their wake, we just have breezy, cool conditions. Clear skies, 45 degrees right now in Winston-Salem. It's 31 in Sparta. It's going to be really cold here along the Blue Ridge. Bus stops are going to be cold this morning. Kids are going to have jackets on for the day since that wind does have a bite to it. Your forecast high is 58 degrees.
I did not have communications with the Russians, and I'm unable to comment on it.
He says he didn't, but our Defense Department says yes. The U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions did have conversations with Russian officials.
And now there is a push for an investigation into just what happened. Brad Jones joins us now with a closer look. Brad, there's also calls for his resignation.
Absolutely, Kerry. Some say Tuesday the best day of Donald Trump's presidential career after preaching a message of unity during his address to Congress. But now the administration dealing with a new issue as more calling for the Attorney General to resign.
President Donald Trump riding high after his speech to a joint session of Congress, but House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi now calling for the resignation of Attorney General Jeff Sessions after he reportedly met with Russian officials twice during the presidential campaign. Congress also now pushing forward on its investigation into Russia.
We just signed a scoping document with the Democrats as to what we're going to look at involving the Russian investigation.
This comes after one of Mr. Trump's best days in office so far, after stumbling at times during the first month.
He managed not to step on his own good news day. I think he tweeted one time early this morning, "Thank you," and that was it, which is another seeming change for him.
As he sets a new tone in his administration, some analysts are saying he'll now have to back it up with continued action.
For the last month, you've got the impression that this administration was teetering on the edge, about to explode, just waiting for the fuse to go. And then you see this guy who shows up. This is a new guy who showed up.
Democrats, though, are skeptical of the president's change in message, even as Mr. Trump reached out to minorities at the beginning of his speech.
I will give him a gold star and a cookie for that moment, but we have to look at a person's actions. Words are very cheap.
But the administration is trying to act quickly on a controversial immigration agenda.
For years, Washington has talked about border security, talked about enforcing our laws, but not done it. He is doing that right now.
While Nancy Pelosi calling for Sessions' resignation, other Democrats are doing the same.
A lie is a lie is a lie, period. And so some kind of way we got to come to grips with that. I can't imagine as a lawyer, and I've practiced over 30-some years, I can't imagine Attorney General Sessions being involved in this investigation at all.
You just heard from Representative Elijah Cummings. Republican leaders treading lighter with their statements, though. Senator Lindsey Graham spoke during a CNN town hall yesterday, saying if the allegations are true, then Sessions can't be the person to lead the investigation. Right now, House and Senate intelligence panels are handling the probe, while the FBI is still investigating the Trump administration's possible dealings with Russia during the election. Meanwhile, a war of words over a spokesperson has apparently been settled. White House has now cleared advisor Kellyanne Conway after she promoted Ivanka Trump's brand during a television interview. A top ethics attorney said Conway acted inadvertently and without any bad motives when she promoted the brand. Deputy counsel to the president on compliance and ethics wrote a letter to the government ethics office saying he met with Conway and resolved the issue. Now, just this week, Conway came under fire after pictures surfaced of her casually sitting in the Oval Office while meeting with leaders of historically black colleges and universities. However, she was apparently doing so in order to take a photograph of the group.
Yeah, the picture, casually sitting, true. She was sitting with her knees tucked underneath her with her shoes on the couch. So it was one of the,
And you have presidents and chancellors from universities throughout the country get off the couch.
Yeah, it was.
I think
it
she was
a-
there to actually, they had 2 consecutive frames,
Right,
and
yes.
she was there to take a picture,
Yes.
and then
They had
the frame.
shown her taking the picture that way, and then she went back, and and it was one of those. Yeah.
And a lot of people will say, and just to be fair, much ado about nothing.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Protocol. Who knows? All right.
We're trying to
Brad,
play it safe
Thank
this
you.
morning, but-
Thank you. Today, Governor Roy Cooper is touring our state to talk more about his plan to pay our teachers more, and he's making a stop right here in the Triad.
Yeah, and this all comes the same day he's expected to officially present his proposal to the state legislature. Fox 8's Nick Sturdivant live this morning at the Guilford Child Development Center in Greensboro, where the governor plans to visit. Nick has the details for us. Nick, good morning.
And good morning, Kerry. Governor Cooper is expected to make stops in both Durham and Chapel Hill, and his visit here largely because his budget focuses on early education. And this comes after he visited the Triad just last week. You're seeing video from a visit at R.J. Reynolds High School where he first discussed teacher pay raises. And during his tour today, again, he's also making stops in the Triangle area. His outline He outlined his official budget proposal yesterday. $271 million would go to teacher raises, with another $20 million going to principals and assistant principals. $7 million would allow state law enforcement officers and firefighters to retire with full benefits after 25 years of service. And $10 million would help former inmates re-enter society. Senate Leader Phil Berger responded to Cooper's proposal saying, in part, his reckless $1 billion spending spree would surely return us to the days of high taxes and multi-billion-dollar deficits. We believe a more prudent approach in investing generously in public education, saving for a rainy day, and returning hard-earned tax dollars to our taxpayer. Again, Cooper will present that budget proposal in front of state lawmakers today. He's set to arrive here in Greensboro at 12:45. Back to you guys.
All right, Nick Sturdivant live for us there in Greensboro. Thanks so much.
North Carolina lawmakers are now trying to let you drink alcohol before noon on Sundays. If the bill passes, it would allow restaurants to serve drinks starting at 10 Sunday mornings, but there is a catch. It would not be mandated by the state, meaning individual counties and cities would have to approve the change. The bill would still not let shoppers buy beer and wine at grocery stores on Sunday mornings.
The Guilford County Animal Shelter now letting go of almost half its staff before it expands. The county's Human Resource Department confirming the shelter let go of 8 employees. Now there are 13 employees there. This all coming after the shelter had some serious mismanagement problems over the last year. The United Animal Coalition, which ran it for 17 years, lost its license for animal cruelty and neglect. Now Guilford County commissioners say there were still multiple employees working for the shelter who were a part of that team. Police investigating several cases where someone shot out car windows with a BB gun. High Point Police received 4 calls on Sunday where at least 6 vehicles had broken windows. 3 of them happened just within a block of one another on North Main and Johnson Streets. Police say they're likely related, but right now they don't have any leads or suspects.
More than 50 employers will descend on the Triad for the 2017 Mega Career Fair. It's today at the Greensboro Coliseum. It'll also include career assessments and assistance with resumes. The fair will also offer a variety of workshops along with employment referrals. It's presented by the Career Centers of the Triad, Cone Health, the Postal Service, LabCorp, Ralph Lauren. Those are just some of the companies that will be in attendance.
We have so many different employers, so many different industries. We have positions, administrative positions, billing positions. We have manufacturing, warehousing. Again, with Emerald Point, we have summer jobs for the teenagers, the lifeguard positions. There are just so many opportunities here.
The event is free. It runs from 10 until 2 at the Greensboro Coliseum. Well, Triad Police want to recruit anyone who's considered a career in law enforcement. Next month, the Burlington Police Department will host a recruitment open house. The department will show demonstrations from a number of its units. Also talk about training. You can take a tour of the station and discuss benefits as well as the application process. So go ahead and mark your calendar. It is happening from 10 until 2 on Saturday, April 1st at the Burlington Police Department. This is open to college seniors and students in a basic law enforcement training program. People interested in a career change and officers who may want to change agencies. Speaking of work.